Hello and welcome to another of the live Hobsons Brewery beer reviews from the 12 Beers of Hobsons, like a Christmassy box sort of thing, gifted to the channel by Mr. Mike Thorpe, very kindly. And today's beer is actually a beer I've had before, but it was a nice beer anyway. So here we go. It's Hobsons Best Bitter. And let me just sort that camera out, because what it's doing, there we go. It's just missing out the bottle, and that saves me elevating the blooming bottle or can, as it were. So yeah, Hobsons Best Bitter, Amber Best Bitter, traditional Amber Bitter, 3.8%. I'm not even going to attempt to read the writing on the back. I ain't got any magnifying glass. Don't know where I put the bloody thing. And so yeah. So we've got a revisit. I've just looked at day 12 and day 12 looks cracking. So I haven't looked at day 11. I know what day 10 is. So day 10's a revisit as well, funnily enough. But it is what it is. It's not 12 different beers. It's their selection of 12 beers. Good evening, Mr. Peter O.W. Allen again. And you can't beat a traditional Best Bitter. I do love a trad beer. Yeah, day 12 looks to be good. Very interesting. So it'd be interesting to see what day 11 is. I might twist it round tomorrow just to be nosy, or twist it round when I get back up the house, to be fair. So I'm a nosy sort. I would like to know what's coming. I did try and do it like the Hobsons and then the Logos ones without looking, but I cannot. I've got to be nosy. I'm just a nosy horse. Good evening, Mark. How are you, mate? How did you enjoy Nottingham? I can't remember if you said to me to contact you or email you or something. My memories is a lot going on at the moment. My son's buying a house and that. Yeah. It is what it is with the beers. It did make me tickle on the first day when the next day was the same beer. But it is what it is. You never know what's in a box unless they specifically say 12 different beers. But you'll find that most breweries out there that do a 12 or 24, the same beers replicated. So it is what it is. You can't do it. Number 12 is actually the plum porter. I didn't know Hobsons did a plum porter, so I'm really, really excited for that. But I don't know what 11 is. I haven't looked yet, so it'll be interesting. I do like a nice beer, and maybe I can do a better review than I did the other day. So, yeah, trying to get back into the spirit of doing these lives. It's not hard to do a live, it isn't. But a good evening, Eddie. But it's the internet connection's an absolute barrel of laughs at times, and getting stuff to work, laptops and phones and sort of things. Just picked up a Titanic cherry porter from our local bottle shop. I do like Titanic. Been to the brewery. 0% for the 11. I'm wondering, that I'm expecting it to come up. I've got yeah. You just reminded me. I'm half expecting it there. Day 10's Town Crier, that I do know because I've already knows it. As you do. So as we can see, it's a lovely looking Best Bitter. More of a golden amber though than an amber. I suppose. Unless it's just my bloody eyes aren't right, these things happen, And like I said, it's got that lovely caramel aroma, toffee, caramel, more caramel than toffee, aroma that you expect from a trad Best Bitter. Doing well, mate. Doing well. Last full day at work tomorrow, half a day Friday, and then 2 weeks off. Oh, I'm so looking forward to 2 weeks off. Literally not doing much. Yeah, can't beat malty caramel Best Bitters. It's when they play around with Best Bitters and start you know, a best bitter's a best bitter, but you know, breweries out there will do their thing and try and change things, won't they? Tradition, you know, is there to be changed. That's what craft beer is for. But it is interesting. I mean, like a 10% best bitter, that'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? That'd be actually quite funny. Brewing 2 best bitter kits together, using probably a stronger yeast as well, and seeing how high a ABV you get. An imperial best bitter. That'd be hilarious. Would it work? I assume it would. I do assume it would. So yeah, malty caramel. Last day tomorrow. Ooh. Yeah, I've still got Friday morning. Get to work for about 5:45. Get the van, drive over to Newark, do what I need to do at Newark, come back, do what I need to do at the near site, and jobs are good. And the locals be brawling their local with a 10% best. Yeah. Yeah. You get all the pensioners kicking fuck out of each other, don't you? Pardon my French. Yeah, give them a 10% best bitter, and they'll be like, oh my God. And yeah, it would be fun to do, though. If anything, with the world of homebrew, playing around with beer kits is fantastic, you know, just to see how far you can push the envelope. And that's what the world of craft beer is about, really. About, you know, craft beer for me is about doing things differently to what modern traditional obviously like to stick to modern traditional ways, and therefore, but you know, brewing something bonkers is funny. And I don't think I've ever come across an imperial best bitter. Don't think I've ever heard of one. I mean, obviously imperial stouts, imperial mild, yeah, or an imperial Yorkshire bitter. Yeah, I'm trying to think of all the different styles out there. I mean, I've come across strong lagers. They used to have them in, oh God, B&M. There was a variety. It came in a tin, and it was strong, and it wasn't bad, actually, to be fair. I mean, I suppose you do get the Polish and East European brands that come quite strong, although they've got a reputation, you know, in this country for the, you know, for the people who sit on parks drinking whatnot. I think so. Yeah, FAUX. Yes. I think that's it. Yeah, a super strong best bitter. Yeah, I'm tempted. I am tempted to brew 2 kits together, and maybe chuck an extra bit of yeast in, and maybe even a bag of sugar just to make sure. Get it to 10% just for the laugh. Go to real ale and lager. Ooh. These days in pubs, most of the pubs I go in, you don't tend to get the same beer or lagers, even, you know, certainly on the beer front, real ales, it changes all the time. I like that because I like to try a new beer. Oh God. And I could ask the question back to people who are watching the chat. What do you like to drink? You know, if it's about what's a beer you'd like? You know, you if it's available, you'll have it, and then maybe try something new. Toughie, proper tough one that is. Can't honestly say. There's you know, Lincoln Green near me. I like butterscotch, and they do a buttermutch dark beer. It's 5.5%. That's a beer that I definitely, as soon as I see it, I'm having it. As for lager, difficult. And again, Not that I've ever seen it on keg, on draft. Peroni's Doppio Molto, I absolutely love. It's 6.6%, and I'd rattle that down me. Go to real ale, a good trad best, as always said. Dale side old leg over, fair play. Not a huge lager fan, but Styrofoam, yeah. In the summer when it was super hot, we were rattling Styrofoam down. You know, we'd got to one pub, and I was thirsty as they come. I looked at what was on the beer side, and I wasn't overly impressed. And then seen Styrofoam, and I thought, do you know something? Just for this time, I'll have Styrofoam. And it hit the spot lovely. In Beeston, where we go drinking, the Pottle Micro Pub, they've got Warsteiner on keg. And I've got to be honest, you come in, you look at the beers, and sometimes you just don't fancy a beer. Warsteiner was there, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm having that. And Warsteiner on keg is some decent German lager. Yeah, it's a tough question. You know, this time of the year, I want to get Titanic's Grand Reserve. Can I get it? Can I bob? We call that war start around here. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, can't think of any other lagers that I regularly see. I mean, most pubs have obviously got a beer of Moretti, flipping Madri. And it's funny that you don't see, not in the real ale pubs where I go, you don't see Carling, Foster's, Carlsberg. You don't see any of them. You do see your Madras and your Birra Moretti. And above that, I can't even think what other lagers that you see regular. Yeah, strange, you know, because in the pubs, into the traditional like lagery pubs, you do see Foster's, Carling, Strongbow, John Smith's, and Madrid is about as Spanish as me. Exactly. Good evening, Luke again. Moretti is passable. Yeah, I do like the Morettis. I do like the variants of Moretti as well. I can always remember being in the Roebuck in Nottingham, and my mate Graham, all of a sudden he went grey in the face and had just poured a pint of Moretti out. I never got to drink the bugger because we had to take him outside, and he spewed all outside. And then the bouncers across the road said, "Get your fucking mate away." And they were quite offensive, really. There was no need to be offensive. Good evening, Mr. Older and Wiser. Drinking a proper job at the moment. I do like proper job. I did brew a clone of it. It was decent. And I did use the, what do you call it? Oh, finings, because you get finings with proper job. And I still got, I still got these sediments, but still no notification. Off the beer this week until Friday. I had way too much last weekend. I know. I haven't been belting it down, but I've certainly probably drank more than what I should be drinking. You know, is a word. Off to pick up the lad from footy training. Catch you on the next one. Cheers, mate. Thank you for joining. Got a big job for 8 p.m. Oh, big job. Yeah, I was glad that came back into, I think it was Asda. I've got some pennies coming off the wife for Christmas. So I'm going to go to each supermarket, have a look, see what's decent or new. And new and decent, because I'm not buying something you know, I'm certainly not, I'm trying to avoid the Brew Dogs and Beaver Towns for obvious things these days. Beavertown. I think they're one of the worst big craft beer brewery now. I don't think there's any of their beers that are any decent. I've got to be honest. Missed the start again. Is that the green opt one? No, mate. It's the best bitter. So, yep, we're back with the best bitter. Tomorrow we're back with the town crier. So, I've already reviewed it, sort of. So more of a chat than an actual review this time. But it's all good. It's a caramel. I think I had 25 drinks over the course of last weekend. Beer was flowing. Oh, fair play, fair play. It's when you wake up and you're feeling it. You're really feeling it. I've had a snifter at day 12. Day 12 is a plum porter, John. So that I'm excited about that, because that is a brand new one. Obviously, I've had this already, but it's still a lovely beer. You know, you can't fault a decent beer. Day 11 could be the 0%. There's a 0% from Hobsons, so that'll be interesting. Tomorrow I plan 2 cans of Bristol Beer Factory Clear Head. Right. Do you have a set amount that you drink a day? Some people are good at that. Some people can, you know, say, I'm only drinking this much. Or, you know, I tend not to like I don't like being told what I can and can't drink, regardless of even diabetes. You know, I don't like it. I don't, you know. And when they said to me, how much do you drink? And I was right. I says, 4 pints, sometimes maybe 6. Give me a right look. And 3 pints, 4 days a week. Fair play. Yeah. And, you know, I don't touch spirits now for reasons. Don't really drink wine much these days. I only ever have wine when I go round to friends. So I've got no wine in the house. So again, although red wine is actually, you can drink red wine with diabetes and there's no hit from that. So maybe I ought to just drink red wine and forget about beer. Probably not. Because then you got to worry about your liver. Never mind the other aspects. But yeah. 3 pints of Drambury. Oh, I love Drambury. I could rattle Drambury down. Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Drambury is absolutely top notch. As a whiskey liqueur, you know, problem with whiskies are, yeah, some people, you got to be more of a connoisseur for whiskies, but Drambury, oh, I don't drink many spirits. 90% beer. Yeah, Charlie Drake joke. Oh right, I don't know. That probably before my time. Plum porter, good one. You've got the Hold Henry. It's the top bitter, stronger than the one drinking now. Rightio. Oh, let's hope so. Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, I'd rather not have the alcohol free, but I'll have what I'm given. You know, obviously, you know, beggars can't be choosers. I didn't even think I'd be doing any lives after the car, and then the boiler, and then the bloody laptop, the washing machine as well. And, you know, nothing else. Please, nothing else. Touch wood. Yeah. We don't need any more. Yeah. I've already had enough. I'm done with. Although I am super looking forward to the break. Finally get to sit down and watch some Christmassy films. Didn't get anything from work last year for Christmas, nothing at all. Yeah. And yeah, some bones of contention there. Some people at work got money from tips, and I didn't see any of that. Although they are out tonight, with the tips, doing a drink tonight. My anxiety wouldn't let me go out tonight. You know, going into town, worrying about catching the bus home, getting too drunk, and what happened 2 years ago still resonates, where I fell over and ended up in hospital. still, still worry about that. So it is what it is. Whether I see anything before I break up on Friday, we'll see. 2 years ago, I actually got some cans of beer, craft beers. It was a lovely, there's about 7 or 8 craft beers. Lovely. And an appreciation for your hard work. All, for me, it doesn't have to be a lot, but all workplaces should at least look after their staff, and certainly the ones that pull their weight all year round. And again, I worked at Sainsbury's, and you see so much, and yeah, sad at times. Off to bake a sourdough loaf. Good. See you later. So let's pour the rest in. Oh. Just seeing on the news that the British government are after 2 billion off what's his name, Roman Abramovich, and apparently pledged when he sold Chelsea to give the 2 billion to Ukraine and for anybody injured in the Ukraine and Russian war. And that's all over the news. 2 billion's a lot of money. Obviously, he's not done it. And I get they're going after him, but you can pledge something, and unless it's legally binding, then talk is cheap, isn't it? I mean, you can apply for a job. You can be told, that the job's this. And when you get the job, pack of lies. I had that when I went to Nottingham's Park Estate. I was told so much, got there, yeah. And so pledges don't really mean anything, do they? And I noticed they're going after what's his name, Farage a bit. That's funny how whatever he did at school, he did at school. God, he's 40 years on from that. Jesus Christ. As not one of us in our life said something we regret. And when you're kids, you can be arseholes, can't you? I know plenty of kids and plenty of adults who are arseholes, and they change. People change. The Guinness Brewery workers in Belfast are on strike because they want the same money as the workers in Runcorn for doing the same. And I was on about it in the other video, the earlier video. Murphy's Irish Stout is absolutely flying off the shelves. So as Guinness, because there's obviously some mad thing for Irish stouts these days, bland stouts, drinkable stouts, yeah. But Murphy's is flying. So for the Guinness workers, they want the money. You get that, I suppose, don't you? But when Guinness lose sales, Murphy's are taking it. So that's funny. Back in the booze on Saturday. Yeah. We're going over to the Crown Inn Saturday. I'm hoping to go to Wetherspoons as well. See what Christmassy beers are on, if there's any, in Beeston. I'm also hoping to get to the Robin Hood and Little John, which is a pub near me. They do Christmassy. I love Christmassy beers. Obviously, not every Christmassy beer is actually a Christmassy beer. It's like when you get, when you think about it, Witchwood Marston's, when they brought out Brewdolf and it's a golden ale, and it's like, it's not fucking Christmas. It's not Christmassy at all. It's a fucking golden ale. And but obviously a lot of breweries do sell. I know breweries that change the name of the beer just for Christmas. There's no difference in the beer or anything. And then after Christmas, change the name back and take the pump clip off. So one near me, Castle Rock Brewery, they sell Elsie Mo. It's a golden ale. It's a nice golden ale, to be fair. At Christmas time, they call it Elsie Moel. and put like a slightly Christmassy pump clip, and for Christmas, yeah. So it's kind of cheating, that is, but. But I better not say anything more about local brewers. Somebody come up to me in the pub. Oi, you've just slagged my brewery off. That's the only problem when you live local to a brewery. Yeah. And I suppose if you do a beer and the beer tastes shite and you've slaughtered that brewery, then you go out and someone get a knock on the shoulder. Hey mate, you slagged my beer off. And it's bound to happen. I bet you there's a beer reviewer out there who's got a local brewery, and if the beer was crap and they slaughtered it, they've had a knock on the shoulder or maybe an email. Especially if they were slightly unfair as well. It's got to happen when you drink beer, and maybe you've drank one too many, and then you do a beer review and you give them some crap on the beer review. It can happen, I've done it myself, so I know it can happen. I'll always remember that one that I did of the was it Wild Child? The one that Farmhouse beer, and that was live as well, and that was when the channel was hell of a lot bigger than what it is today. More subscribers today, but the channel was watched by a lot more. And Farmhouse, it's like shithouse, and I absolutely slaughtered my brewing. Yeah, I absolutely slaughtered that. And I think back now, I think maybe I was a little bit harsh. These things happen, don't they? If you can't have an opinion in life, then what's life about? As long as people don't take your opinion too much. Problem is these days, obviously, especially on social media, there are so many keyboard warriors that jump on your back if you say something slightly out of place. I only said about International Women's Day in Nottingham. International Women's Day is rammed down your throat by so many breweries. And all I said was, why don't these same breweries do an International Men's Day? Oh my God, the abuse. And a lot of lefties come out of the woodwork. And after that, I lost a lot of respect for certain people in the Nottingham beer scene. And never liked any of their beers either, to be honest. Well, fair play, mate, fair play. They went under, so says a bit. Yeah, bad management. What tickles me with breweries, there are some breweries doing absolutely amazing. And like you say, some breweries go to the wall. So you're either not being ran right in the first place, there's too many staff and too many people taking big money. Some people, they're not getting the sales out, not doing social media. Social media these days is king. Getting your beers onto social media. I read an article the other day, and I think it was about Woodford's Brewery and their Wherry beer, if that's how you pronounce it, Wherry, WHERRY. They've sold 1.4 million pints this year. Something daft like that. It's like, shit, that's a lot of bloody pints. And you can brew it as well. Wild beer range was expensive as well. And this is where some breweries have been a bit greedy. Local to me, there are some breweries and some brewers that brew a beer and the same ABV is done at a different brewery whose beers are equally as good. One brewery, 12 quid a can. Other brewery, £7 a can. And it's like, how the hell can you charge that much for a beer that is predominantly, similar and not brewed any better? What was the beer that exploded once on the shelf behind you? I've had a couple do that. Yeah. There was one where when I was sat there and the beer was behind me here, and here, and it popped, and oh, my cherry popped, and that was a funny one. And then there was another one where I cracked open the beer and it just fucking exploded. It went, it was up the ceiling, on the TV. Jesus Christ, and I was swearing my head off on that. Some of them I need to bring back out, and you know, because people who watch the channel now have missed some of those, you know, awesome videos, because some of them are so funny. And I agree, Luke, you know, in this day, oops, yeah. There we go. Oh, has it showed it? Oh, yeah, fucker. There we go. And in this day and age, it's getting like that. I never used to go to a pub and worry, look at the beer and think, I can't afford that, or I'm not paying that. And you do look now at cans and bottles and you think, and I look at the offers now, and there was a time, and I in previous years I've been slightly more flush. Having a bloody MOT in December is ridiculous because it knackers me up for Christmas. It did this year. I think my car went through the MOT last year as well. Bastard. But yeah, you know, the Fuller's calendar, that I was on my list to get. That was it was one I was very interested in, certainly earlier in the year. But it does, you know, you look now and you think, phew, 11 quid for a stout. And unless that stout is amazing quality, you've just, you know, spent all that money for something that isn't that good, you know. My also thing this year, and in the last year or so, is the local business that used to do all the local beers is gone. It didn't do much last year, to be fair, and yeah, he's disappeared this year. So now it's even harder now to get local beers on the channel. So now I'm kind of forced into going into the supermarket route, unless I'm near a brewery, and yeah, I'll pick a beer up from the brewery. Or I'm going to like a tap room event sort of thing, and I'll pick a few beers up. But then sometimes you go to tap rooms, and I went to a tap room in Derby, and I was going to buy some beers, and they were like £6.50, £7, and I'm thinking, oh, sod that. So I didn't buy any, and just walked out. I got my beers, my thirds, but I walked out after that. See, I want to go into Nottingham and go to Neon Raptor because I want their white chocolate Centaur Army. But I'm not paying £11 a can. I'd rather get a third and have it as probably a fiver. You know, £5 for a third. Yeah, I've had the taste. Job's a good one. And then if I fancy brewing something similar myself, I can do. You know, get a peanut butter flavouring, get a nice thick base imperial stout, get a white chocolate and peanut butter flavouring to bang in. Job's a good one. And replicate it myself, as I've done many times with beers over the year, you know, replicating the brews. I've just looked at the times, 34 minutes, although the wife is watching Emmerdale. I can't. Which one's got the two gay characters in? Emmerdale's got bloody drug dealing, whatever it is, and yeah, oh dear. And then Coro's got the gay couple where he's obviously a fucking psychopath. And you know, you look and you think, just leave the idiot, you know, get away from him, and just leave him, because the bloke's a nutter, and he's going to end up dead at that rate. Do you think we'll see 250ml cans of beer come in? Seems pointless. I do think you're going to see. I think in the end, beer, and I see this coming. Trad beer, 330ml cat bottles. Craft beer, 330 and 250ml cans. 250ml for an impy stout, I can see coming in. But if it gets the price down, then it's not a bad thing. Although now a bottle of wine is cheaper than what you get most imperial stouts. Or a bottle of Ballycastle cream liqueur from Aldi at £7.50. It's cheaper for a 700ml bottle than an impy stout. Say maybe 12% ABV. It's interesting where we're going to go with this. Is beer any more taxed than your wines and your spirits? It's interesting. I don't know the ins and outs of any of that. Obviously, I don't brew it in that respect, but yeah, it is interesting to see where it's going to go. I know where this is going, in my stomach. And again, thankfully, the Chromebooks held out. I had a bit of an issue getting on earlier. I had to restart it and mess about a bit. Yeah, you've done well, mate. I don't tend to watch them, but the wife's got it on. So kind of forced into it. Yeah. I don't watch it. I don't sit down to watch that rubbish. I'd rather watch Marvel or something on YouTube. I don't agree with paying the BBC license. And if the BBC go under, tough shit on them. Because putting fake news out, they shouldn't be doing anyway. Editing of the news and that's naughty. And, the problem is with BBC, ITV and all these, they dramatise certain topics and, it's all about drama and slight, picking certain people out to make it more drama, hate it. And, all about picking the right topics to stir up a minority of the population, not the majority, always the minority. Well, it's always like the minorities wins over the majority all the time. And it's well wrong. But, yeah. Oh, lovely beer. So I know what's coming tomorrow. Town Crier again. So should be a good one. But I've enjoyed this beer. It's a lovely best bitter. Like I say, I pray that Day 11's that Hold Henry. Yeah, that would be nice. I might actually go and have a nosy in a minute when I go up the house, just for curiosity's sakes. But yeah, another fantastic live chat and stream. It's been good to get back into it. It's been good to get a way where I can see the comments and it's not dropping on me, because the first few days I had that many problems, and that's why I did review two without going live, because I couldn't be done with the messing about. Good evening, Addy. Oh, that's a question. Thursday tomorrow, I may be working, so I may not even get home till 5. Well, I am working tomorrow, but I may be working later. So it's very difficult to know. It really is. I'm struggling because I need YouTube's notifications to work. I got an email earlier from YouTube telling me I'd gone live, but it's obviously a bit random because obviously people come on and say no notification. It's like, for God's sakes. So I got the email and it's my channel. Yeah, strange. yeah. Why the hell would they send me an email to tell me I'm live when I'm the person doing the live? Yeah, that's one for the boggles the mind, isn't it? You know. yeah. I have no answer to that one either. You know, it's just weird. But yeah, it'll be any time after about 5:30, I think. But it's all a bit random because obviously Christmas and, you know, shopping. Son's got his house, supposed to be moving into his house on Friday. I can't see him moving in because he can't get the internet, and he wants internet before he moves in. So he'll get the house, but he might not move in the first day or first week or two. And then he's got to wait. If he buys a settee, you've got to wait 7 weeks for it to be delivered, to be built and delivered. Fucking hell. Can't they build settees ready to go? Again, begs the question. We waited 3 months, we did, when we bought our settee. 3 months. And again, you're like, so you ain't got any in stock ready to go. And then when it came, it had the wrong cushions on. Yeah, we had cushions that were very soft, and we got rid and got cushions that were solid, because the soft ones wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes. Those soft ones are still in our loft. Yeah, I chucked them up there because I thought they're a waste of time. But anyway, I better wrap up. Thank you everyone for joining in tonight. Yeah, it was a great chat, and yeah, and a cracking beer. Can't fault the beer. Hobsons Brewery. Massive thank you again to Mike Thorpe. And again, like it says there, cost of beers these days. Ouch. Thank you for watching. See you soon. This time I'll remember to use the mouse rather than try and do touchscreen when there is no touchscreen on this Chromebook. Cheers.